Claymation is an animation technique where clay figures are moved through stop-motion photography in a way that is striking but ultimately easy to grasp. Revolutionising this technique, Aardman Animations broke onto the scene in 1989 with the Academy Award-winning short Creature Comforts. But it wasn't until the release of the short film The Wrong Trousers in 1993 that Wallace and Gromit became household names, endearing mainstream audiences worldwide to the intrinsically British relationship between an inventor whose love for crackers and cheese is only exceeded by his lack of foresight and an intelligent beagle who can only roll his eyes at his master's mad antics. In Towards a Poetics of the Short Film, Johannes Rees states that a spectator is engaged when something claims and holds his or her attention, and even more so if the film invokes empathy towards characters. This creates a sense of time-effective storytelling where the point of the film is apparent to the audience on first viewing. This certainly applies to The Wrong Trousers, with its particular unity of style being claymation and its use of one-dimensional characters which the audience can understand at a glance. As well as being colourfully designed, their scenes are shot from static angles with straightforward framing, so the audience can see exactly what they're up to. In contrast, the antagonist, Penguin Feathers McGraw, is a dark reflection of Gromit. The audience know who it is they are supposed to root for and who it is they are supposed to root against. Articulate and effortlessly marketable whilst being silent. Likewise, the use of music, animation and cinematography is used to further highlight when he is in distress or saddened. In contrast, Feathers McGraw stands out as both unpredictable, therefore engaging, as you want to find out what his true intentions are. When the audience is first introduced to him, we are immediately suspicious of his motives. However, we could never have predicted this conflict would evolve into a jewellery heist and a miniature train chase to cap off The Wrong Trousers. Over the course of their 4 short films, Wallace and Gromit have included conventions common to the genres of fantasy, mystery, adventure and comedy. These are cross-referenced and interspersed into the narrative in a way that offers something different for all audiences. It offers creativity with no boundaries and the freedom for experimentation balance. This can be attributed to what Richard Raskin describes in 5 Parameters of Story Design as excessive complication or detail reduces the viewer's role to that of keeping up with and merely registering what happens at the surface level of the story. Due to the nature of the short film format, these films are primed to provide a much more succinct and engaging narrative, which is what the first 2 Wallace and Gromit shorts accomplish. However, A Close Shave and A Matter of Loaf and Death feel more convoluted and less focused in comparison, as they introduce more plot lines and delve into too many genres in a way that is overwhelming. They create an overly complex narrative where the audience has to work to keep up with various plot points and the extra superfluous characters introduced, instead of being able to simply enjoy the spectacle. On close examination, The Wrong Trousers has all the elements that makes a short film engaging. A simple premise, a striking pseudo-Victorian setting, a hook with the introduction of Feathers McGraw, and a punch involving a climatic chase scene that leaves a lasting impression with the audience. This is known by famed poet Edgar Allan Poe as the unity of effect, which he described as beginning with the impact that the filmmaker wants to have on the audience, then the premise, and then an ending. This can be achieved through leveraging the tools of cinema. Furthermore, The Wrong Trousers features an evolving mystery and is done through the application of tension during the first half through the cinematography, music, and characterization of Feathers McGraw. In understanding animation, Holloway states that to animate is to give life and soul to a design, not through the copying, but through the transformation of reality. This means that animation can enhance reality and achieve feats that live action cannot. It is fantastical in nature. But how can we apply this to another Wallace and Gromit short? Well, clocking in at 24 minutes, the first Wallace and Gromit short film, A Grand Day Out, introduces us to the titular characters in an adventurous but simple way. Catastrophe strikes when the duo find that they have run out of cheese. In response to this, they build a rocket and travel to the moon in order to replace the cheese that they lost. The introduction of a robot character named Cooker is the payoff and also surprises the audience. The resolution comes when the duo manage to escape the moon and return home. This self-contained narrative, coupled with the engaging claymation style, creates a unity of impression fashion where the film is inherently rewatchable. The film prioritises its content, concentrating specifically on constructing character, determining comic moments, and evolving the self-contained narrative rather than showcasing the making of or how it came to be. It is an inherent calling card for Aardman and establishes what Wallace and Gromit is all about. This is further highlighted by the emphasis on the visual and auditory experience. We can return to theorist Richard Raskin and apply one of his 5 parameters of story design in order to see how Wallace and Gromit works to create a balanced experience that is engaging between its visuals and its sound. Raskin noted in 5 parameters of story design that when these 2 components of a given parameter are both fully present in a filmic event, their interplay shapes and enriches that event. This quote illustrates how a short film can better engage if there is equal amount of focus on each of these conventions. This can also be applied to image and sound, as the best short films have a strong relationship between the two. A scene in The Wrong Trousers and that is when these stories are at their best, timeless in their craft but also simple and engaging in their narrative construction. On balance, Wallace and Gromit has a definitive unity of style as it adheres to narrative and stylistic norms. However, that does not detract from the overall experience because the main characters are still empathetic and easily defined in their wacky antics. But looking beyond all of this analysis, and no matter how we apply theories and ideas to structure and narrative, the overall result is simply an enjoyable escape. We can forget for an average of 30 minutes that these characters are just pieces of plasticine because their adventures are fantastical.